Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Fatmata here from Traditionally Inspired Meaningful Art, and today I just wanted to do a catch up on what I've been doing in the sewing space and how things are progressing. So first and foremost, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's watched my previous video recounting all the makes that I did for the Selfless Sew April challenge. And I'm just so excited about kind of going over a really big hurdle and hump for me, which is sewing menswear, which I'm sure the techniques for anyone out there who has done it, you're like, Fatmata, it's legitimately not any different than anything you've done in the past. However, for whatever reason, I'd worked up in my mind, there's just so much more finishing details that I felt like set menswear apart, and I just wasn't sure if I could hack it. Well, no, I'm pretty sure I knew that I could do it. It was just intimidating. That's what it was. And to be able to make it and make something that my husband actually wanted to wear, that was huge. And I told my dad, and my dad was like, where's mine? So I'm actually going to go and visit my folks, I think, later this evening. So I'm planning to bring the tape measure because dad needs a shirt too, you know? Anyhoosers, in addition to that, I finally dusted off the old Instagram in preparation for MeMadeMay', which I've been participating in over there, just sharing daily what I'm wearing from my handmade wardrobe. But also I was able to, of course, submit the photos for those makes for the Selfless Sew April 23 challenge. And I was just blown away to find out this past week that I won. So the ladies over that were hosting the challenge, Claire from Stitch Hem Sew, Adele from Sew for Serenity, and Crystal from my social thread. I was super pleased to be one of the winners for the menswear section, and I get to kind of peruse the Love Notions website to pick out some patterns over there. So thank you ladies so much for hosting a phenomenal challenge, and I'm really excited that I get to try out yet another indie brand, which is going to be great. Now moving on from there, one of the things that I was in the process of making that I didn't quite get to at the end of April was a blouse for the Sew April Blouse challenge. And I'm happy to say that that blouse is now completed, y'all. Why is it wrinkly? All right, so here it is in that gorgeous floaty viscose rayon jacquard fabric that I had, and I picked up this fabric from G Street Fabric in their dead stock section. It has the loveliest sort of jacquard weave to it, which I think you see a lot more on the inside there. And this gorgeous dark teal leaning navy sort of background with these pops of florals here. So I went ahead and I utilized McCall's 8147. I went for view C, which is what the model is wearing here on the cover. And I like it. I mean, I like it. I like the sleeves a lot. And I just felt that the top came out really short. I don't think I cut it out any shorter than the pattern recommends. And I surely didn't make the hem that deep, right? I just have it folded over once about 5/8 of an inch. So I feel like I sewed it up as intended per the pattern, but it just is, it's short. It's short. So I think if I make this pattern again, I would definitely lengthen it for my preferences. I want to be able to tuck it in confidently that at the raise of an arm, it's not going to untuck itself. I wasn't a fan of that. The way that it's sort of finished off in the back, I put 3 buttons here. And I think next time I want to try the other view, view B, that has just that nice sort of roll neck. I think it's very sleek and would be really beautiful for me to try. And it takes up a little bit less fabric. So I want to try that out. And I am interested in trying this again. But it wasn't I don't know. I had really high hopes. I'd worked it up in my mind a lot. And I think because of those reasons, possibly, I just felt a bit underwhelmed when I tried it on. I was like, huh. I'm not sure what it is. It could just be that it's going into summer and the fabric is a bit more autumnal, or with the darker base. I'm not sure. I'll probably wear it to work and be in love with it again I don't really know. But I did make the top. Just wanted to let you all know that it is made up. Like, look at how darling these sleeves are. It's ginormous and I love it. And I think this is going to be a great, easy breezy summer top. So another item that I have taken out of my UFO stash is the Sicily slip dress, which I made back in February of 2022. It was a collaboration that I had done with Adele from Sew for Serenity, and I was underwhelmed by mine. I'd made a number of mistakes, beginning with sizing, but also in the way that I sewed it up. One of my pieces had stretched out, and I tried to make it fit because, as I believe the pattern recommends, you sewing from the bottom up and doing French seams and doing a narrow zigzag stitch on this poly crepe, which has a bit of body to it. Many things just did not work. So for all of those reasons, I am reworking this. I think it's a bit harder for me to describe the changes I'm gonna make until you see it on. So I will finish up. I just have to re-hem it, stitch up the sides properly the way that I want. I will say that my sojo has been wavering. Like, there were nights this week where I felt like I could sew, but I have so many other pressing things that I need to get done for like life, that every time I would be sitting at my sewing machine, I'd feel really guilty. So I'd like go, but not quite finish the thing that I should be doing. Anyway, it's a problem. So I do have my kiddos their little joggers or leggings here that I need to just finish stitching up. I put in the elastic. I just serged that onto it, and then I'm gonna do some zigzag stitches across the top there to hold it in place. I don't think I'm gonna do a cuff at the hem. I think I'm just going to fold it up and hem it, but the fabric was curling so much it was annoying me, so I put it aside. But I have 2 of those to finish. I'm very close to being done. When I had sewn this last year, I started working on this last year, I had my like colorful serger thread in there, so you see that variegated thread throughout, so that I'm sure I could whip up at some point this week. The garment that I really want to work on is my piece for my family's collection, and I am really sad because like there's just not enough fabric to get a full dress for me. Have I made a dress out of 2 yards of fabric before? Yes, but often it's like 60 inches wide, and this Ankara fabric is not that wide. So it is presenting some challenges. I might just have to make a top, like a blouse, which wasn't my preference. I wanted a dress, but I might not be able to get that out. It's okay. I am now considering McCall's 7977, possibly view B, right here. I think this like really nice little ruffle detail and the yoke here at the center might allow me to play with the pattern and print placement quite a bit and make the most of it. I, before coming to that decision, had looked all throughout my stash to see if I could have like a cobalt blue that is very similar and possibly make a dress and like make the sleeves out of that alternate fabric so I could have enough. But alas, I don't think it's gonna work because this is such a distinct large scale print. It would be hard to try and avoid pattern matching. So I think I'm just gonna make a blouse and be matchy with my family in that, unless something like amazing pops up that I hadn't considered. The dress that I really wanted was B6702. I want to revisit this pattern so much. I just love the fit of the bodice. I was, would even consider altering the skirt because I know the skirt, the way it's flared out, does take up a lot of fabric, but even still, it just won't work. Anyway, I might be making this top, which I've wanted to make anyway, so it's probably all right. A lovely viewer in the comments had asked me about the multicolored tiered linen dress. It was like, did I miss that linen dress you were working on? No, my friend, you did not miss anything. It is still in pieces here, bundled up with its friends, and I want to revisit this pattern. Like, if this is the only thing I get sewn up throughout all of spring, please let it be this. Okay, spring, early summer. Let's be real here. Let's say by the end of June. I would love to have this dress. A lot of things stopped me in my tracks for this. I had tried to use my serger to do the gathering because, as you can see here, there are folds and folds of fabric. There is a lot of fabric that is going to be incorporated into this tiered gathered concoction, and I don't want to have to do all of that by hand with 2 rows of stitching. There's a lot of thread that will be wasted, many things. But I think it's just going to need to happen if I'm going to make this dress. So that's where I am. And I also need to order rickrack. Probably from like Etsy or eBay or somewhere like that where I could get a lot of it and can make sure that I have what I need when I start. Because once I start getting into like the bodice and the sleeves of this dress that I plan to make, this Zimmerman inspired tiered maxi dress, I am going to need the rickrack before I start doing like any of the seams. So I do need to get on it and order that rickrack. But I so appreciate that comment, because I was like, it's what I needed. It was the kick in the pants that I needed. I've wanted to make this dress for a long time, and it is taking up quite a bit of space in my stash just folded up. So I would like to make it for a number of reasons. I also have a gut feeling that I'm trying to not lean into, but I'm really scared that I'm not gonna like it. I didn't want to say that out loud, but it's honest truth. I think about the fact that this is linen instead of cotton voile, which the Zimmerman dress was made out of cotton voile, much lighter. This is going to be an extremely heavy dress. It might also be like treacherous to walk in because all of the gathers, all of the tiers wrapped around your foot make it a hazard for walking upstairs for sure. And the wrinkle, like the wrinkling that might be able to happen. You know what I mean? Like, who's ironing this? So I have a lot of questions, and I had to then reduce the level of gathering per level and all of the equations that I was doing, and I feel like it's not going to feel as gathered, but then because it's so many levels, it doesn't matter because it's eventually going to be extremely wide and billowy at the bottom. I just have a lot of doubts about it, and I think that's part of the reason why I sort of quietly just stop talking about this. But it's one of those that I have to see it through. Like, I've been thinking about it so long that I really want to see it through, and that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna try and make it work. Yeah. So one of the things that I told myself that I would start doing is just serging all of the edges. Another thing that is frightening me is the fact that it is linen and it frays like nobody's business. So I've been really nervous about the idea of like sewing all of this and then some of the seams, because of how heavy and weighty it's gonna be, starting to like pull, and then the tiers getting messed up because I had cut these out to like an exact length. There just isn't much margin for error. And I don't think that I accounted for like 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I think I accounted for a bit less than that, and I'm regretting that choice, but everything's already cut out. So, have you ever started embarking on like sewing something and then you're questioning it every step of the way? How do you push through anyways? Like, what are your tips? Please give me any words of encouragement you've got, because I need them. This project is one that once you've been talking about something for over a year, it's sort of like, I really want to do it. Really want to do it, but it's terrifying me. Anyway, I think that's it. I would love to have a blouse or a dress for you in my matching set with my family by next week. MeMadeMay has been going well, but you know, it's just the first week, and that's easy enough. I've been really fortunate to make clothing over the past 2 years or so that I really like and enjoy wearing, and because I go into the office 5 days a week, I wear a lot of the things that I make anyways, so that hasn't been hard. My actual challenge has been like the documenting of it. So my challenge has been not just to wear my MeMades, but to also share them on Instagram. More as like a, yeah, I want to ease into possibly using Instagram more often. I don't know. It's already overwhelming. I'm like, oh, I have to like respond to people, which has been challenging for me because as soon as I'm in it, I don't want to get hooked by social media again, which is why I gave myself a break from it to begin with. So that is all for me this week. Hopefully you'll see some makes in the upcoming week, and I hope sewing is going well for you. And if you're participating in Me Made May, that it has been a good experience, and I will talk to you soon. Stay creative, friends.
Are you ready to join me now?
Yes. Where are we going?
I want milk.